Just so your dad's vinegar strokes saw into his soul. Not good.
Alright, welcome back to the Fairweather Friends podcast. I think I started after it started recording. As always, I'm Vag. Ricky's sitting to my left.
Hey, how's it going?
We got a couple more of your fantasy football buddies. Jarrod and Dielen Powell here.
What's up?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
And the reason you guys are here is you guys fucking made the championship.
Sons of bitches.
Somehow, yeah.
Welcome, Jarrod. Welcome.
Dude, this is the furthest I've ever made it in our league. Last year, I made it to the playoffs, got bounced in the first round, and that was the furthest.
And we established that it was like, what, year 5 or something?
Yeah, Dylan has the trophy.
For this league? Yeah, he was
I didn't even know if we had a trophy like one of the first years. So yeah, I think this is like 5 or 6 almost.
I think, yeah. I think the trophy's 1 year off.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Most leagues don't buy a trophy right off the bat.
Yeah.
Usually it's bought after the first season sometime. All right, so you guys are in the finals. Ricky was the number 1 seed and got upset by Jarrod.
Yep. Thanks, Keenan Allen.
And you were how big a favorite that week?
Like
Over 30 points, yeah.
Projections are bullshit.
No, projections are so trash.
Once
don't ever
Rivers
trust projections.
once Rivers outscored Mahomes, I knew I was done. And then Keenan didn't even play.
Shit, that's early.
Yeah, I was pretty much done the first day.
I got lucky in 2 leagues I was playing against Keenan Allen to make the championship and got 0. What are you guys' team names?
Mine.
Oh, I'm Girth Brooks. The Girth Brooks.
The Garth Brooks?
No, Girth.
Girth Brooks. Girth Brooks. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, that's a really...
Dude, one from this. I'm not gonna mention any names. I'm not sure who watches this, but this homosexual feller that we went to school with hit me up because I posted after the first week I had 2 wins, and this league is Girth Brooks and the other one is Skeet Carroll. And so this one I posted on Instagram, and he started following me or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, so how do you know about Girth Brooks?" He's a gay porn star. I was like, yeah. I mean, I established that after the fact. I thought it was a funny name, and so he messaged me in like DMs and was like, "So you need to tell me like how you know about Girth Brooks." It just screams closet case. Are you gay? And I didn't mess anything back. I didn't know what to say to him.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate consequence.
Yeah, fantastic name, though.
That is a good name.
You gotta Google stuff before you...
Dylan usually has the best names. I will say that. My name is Vinegar Strokes, though.
Vinegar Strokes. That was good. A league reference.
Yeah. My picture is Ruxian. Like, his dad's, like, who's the guy who plays...
Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum's, like, Vinegar Strokes, like, face. And then my abbreviation is cum.
My team that's a reigning champion from another league is Riding the Goat, because I got Brady as my quarterback, but then I found a picture of a guy fucking a goat. It's unfortunate. But since I won, I had to keep the team name in the picture for this year. Can't stop on a winning streak. All right. Dylan, was yours a big upset, or were you kind of the favorite last round?
As far as like this year, playing Trent,
yeah, just the semifinals.
I was definitely favorite over Trent. Trent's been kind of quiet most of the year. He got a slow start, but my team's been pretty solid throughout the whole year. I'm the one that swooped up James Conner and pissed off Jeff. So that was pretty cool. It was fun pissing off Jeff.
Well, okay, so we definitely
the third best running back.
We definitely talked about that, and that's Jeff's own fault to not handcuff him with his last pick.
Yeah,
I drafted James Conner in a league in the 6th round, and it was a great pick. Turned out.
Well, Jeff's thing is that he intentionally went into the draft blind, which to go in that blind to where you don't even know if Bell has showed up or not is insane. I can understand like not doing a bunch of research to like build a bias on any certain players, but to just like say fuck it and not pay attention to anything is ridiculous.
That was big news that he had not, reported, and that he most likely wouldn't report till at least week 10.
Yeah,
that was pretty common knowledge.
Yeah,
not for Jeff.
I don't feel bad for Jeff on that part whatsoever.
It's not a keeper, right? So
not a keeper league.
He just picked him.
Yeah.
We usually do our draft like right before preseason, like week 1 of preseason. So sometimes it's kind of hard to tell, and especially with Le'Veon Bell. Like I don't think in the last 3 years Le'Veon Bell has started started like week 1 in like the last 3 or 4 years.
So he had the 4-game suspension 1 year. I think last year he actually did.
He showed up right.
He just showed up. Yeah, he played from week 1. He just didn't show up to camp till actual
slower start last year.
Preseason games. Yeah.
D'Angelo Williams was like my hidden gem for like a couple years because I swear it's like, Le'Veon Bell's probably not going to be starting. D'Angelo Williams puts up like 25, 30 points a game. Like that's fine with me. Then dump him after.
He won a lot of people some early season weeks.
Yeah, that's the argument against James Conner is that D'Angelo Williams was able to do this right before him.
Well, and now who's the guy who played the last 2 weeks?
Jalen Samuels, who you got as well, right?
I got Jalen Samuels.
Nice pickup. Yeah, running backs are not looking super valuable this year. Look at all the guys who've come in from injuries in the last 3 weeks and been awesome.
Yeah, that's true. There's a few like the top tier, like Gurley and McCaffrey, Zeke. I think after that,
it's pretty rough after that.
Especially in PPR, if you have an old school running back like me.
Kamara.
Adrian.
How about Alvin Kamara?
Kamara, yeah.
It's actually quite a few more than we thought. One less of Kareem Hunt going out, but it was about 8 deep for this guy's going to get 15 to 20 touches, and then after that it's just a crapshoot.
Not to mention I got Nick Chubb, who has held me down like half the year, just randomly.
So when teams, everyone knows that someone's better and the team just isn't using them, it's frustrating.
Derrick Henry for the last year.
Yeah, no shit. Whoever
year and a half.
Him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even when DeMarco was there, he was only getting 7-8 carries a game.
It's like the wild card team that wins every game on the road.
Yep.
Everybody has Derrick Henry.
Yeah, pretty well.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you played him that first week, which they even mentioned that 99-yard touchdown run. That one touchdown outscored all but 1 week going into that week.
For his whole season?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That one play was his second highest scoring week by itself. And then he went and got 2 more touchdowns, another 150 rushing yards that game or whatever. But yeah, a lot of you really had to pay attention this year constantly and be picking guys up immediately because I did. I got Chubb when they traded away what's his face?
Hyde?
Yeah, Carlos Hyde.
Not to mention that Hyde got completely fucked after that. I was riding him in one of my other leagues.
I didn't understand that trade for Jacksonville.
Nope.
All right, so back to your guys' teams. What do the projections say is the favorite?
I think.
Let me see.
The Girth.
So it says
He's up by
149, and Jarrod is projected 139. So
9 points, 10 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost with McCaffrey resting this week. His projection has gone down 2 points, and Gurley's for some reason has maintained even though he hasn't practiced yet this week.
He's an interesting. Well, he hasn't practiced a lot this year, but it'd be curious to see how hard the Rams try to get that 1 seed back because their only chance is to win both and hope the Saints lose both because they can't tie them. The Saints have the tiebreaker, so it'd be interesting to see Gurley. And we had people asking about Melvin Gordon. It's another one. He's coming off injury. So, how much are these top running backs going to play in Week 16 when
they don't have a lot to play for?
Yeah, their playoff matchups are pretty much set.
Yeah, for the most part.
AFC's kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
There's no real powerhouse running backs
in the AFC.
No.
Yeah, with Hunt gone too.
So you have Gurley and McCaffrey though.
I got McCaffrey at the end of the second round too, because I was the first overall pick, so I got him third round basically.
Third year in a row, as Jeff would say.
Second, only the second.
Is this his third year playing McCaffrey? Or is this his second?
Last year was his
I thought he was talking about the first round.
Yeah,
first round
first overall pick. That's right.
First overall pick last year and this year.
Yeah, Jeff had some major conspiracy issues with that.
The year before I won on Brad Keselowski.
Oh yeah, you guys have some interesting ways to figure out the pick, which is nice. We did a randomizer in one league, and the commissioner got the first. Or no, it wasn't the commissioner, I guess, but yeah, it's just not as fun. to do something like
Jeffy. Remember that one? Everybody beats off onto a waffle, and the last person to finish, Jeff has to eat it.
He was down for all those terrible ideas. Was there one with like pissing?
There's one where people keep talk for every single year. People talk about like weighing our shits.
That was it. The shit. Like, he really, really wanted to do.
And then each year we get more and more in depth into like how we could go about weighing our shits, and it's gonna get to the point where we're just gonna weigh our shits. It's gonna get to that point.
It's gotta happen eventually.
But I actually looked up the price for one of those toilet seats that like weighs you before your shit and then after your shit.
Wait, that's a thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. They're super duper expensive.
Oh.
That's quite unbelievable.
Actually. Shit onto a scale. Come on.
Can you imagine sharing all the same toilet, and then like whoever's the last in the league that last year has to be the last one to shit, and you have to take place after the last person that shit. That smell would be so bad. That would just be fantasy punishment right there.
God.
Yeah, the person who has to like maintain that, and handle it.
Which would probably end up being me. I would have to be the one doing it. I'd have to go into the bathroom after like every shit to like check for foul play or something. I don't know.
Thanks, commish.
That's the commissioner's job.
That's the commissioner's job? That's awful.
Put up with our shit, dude, literally.
In our league, it would just default to my job, yeah. But I've given up on putting any weight into how we decide the draft order. It's like hard enough getting 12 guys all in one place at the same time.
I mean, the commissioner should just decide, like, this is what it is.
Yeah,
I think it should be a reward for third place or fourth place or something.
Okay, but it should be one person.
Regular winter season, or regular season winner.
Can't leave it up to, I mean, I guess you could do it as a vote if you're like.
That's how I've done most stuff. I just let the majority kind of decide, and that no matter how you do it, there's always controversy. People always bitch, no matter what. Like we had over half the league. We had 10 people when did we talk about the NASCAR thing that we did?
A little bit, because that's what Ricky was saying, how he got the first pick.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Say Carl Edwards.
That was actually badass. No, it was Brad Keselowski.
And he's like the biggest dickhead in NASCAR.
The NASCAR thing was dope, but we had, I think, Dylan, you didn't really like that one, right? The NASCAR one?
Fuck NASCAR. I think I picked Dale Earnhardt's, like,
dude,
Dale
I gave you Danica Patrick.
Like, fuck, I'll take the last pick. Fuck NASCAR.
I gave him Danica Patrick because you wouldn't pick a driver. So I just tossed Danica Patrick on you.
Well, that's a losing effort.
Yeah.
I don't mind the last pick in the fucking draft. Fuck it.
Worked out for me.
I like the quick turnaround.
I was like right in the middle this year and it sucked. That's the first time I've been like right in the middle. That's the worst.
I feel like all positions have it. Like being first overall is awesome because you get fucking like the guys like Gurley. But then you have to, like, I had to wait like a full round, like a full 2 rounds until I could even like think about the next pick.
But then you get 2, so usually that way you'll end up with the top guy, and then you'll end up with a second-tier running back, but also pretty high second-tier wide receiver. Yeah, or depending how things go, maybe one of the good receivers is still there. So I think, like, I got Tyreek Hill in the 3rd round in a couple leagues.
Damn.
Yeah, he was
the one that people, like, if you didn't have him last year, I think people didn't realize how he could win you a week on one catch,
with the question mark
one play.
Yeah, seriously.
What do you about Mahomes? Like, he was a question mark.
Yeah.
But they still don't throw deep to Hill that often, even though he's faster than everybody. They usually throw short and let him run. But so, Jarrod, your biggest question marks are McCaffrey and Gurley. What about you, Dylan? What guys do you have starting that you're
wait. Huh. Edelman and Diggs, no trust in them for me. And you got Landry and
this is on Jarrod's team?
Yeah.
Oh, that's strictly from like how much Gurley and McCaffrey are going to play. Like I'm pretty confident that like, because at this point that's what I'm mostly worried about is like who's going to be used like sparingly and who's going to be out there like it's another week.
I say Edelman should get targeted like 20 times now with Gordon.
Buffalo, who we established earlier, is actually good.
They're good defense. They're a good defense.
Yeah,
and they're actually going to run the ball a lot. Friggin' who knew Josh Allen?
Gordon's going to be gone.
Is the best running quarterback in the history of the NFL. Lamar Jackson's going crazy, and yet Josh Allen is actually doing more.
And he had the best
running. He has the highest 3-game stretch of rushing for a quarterback ever.
He's averaging almost 100 yards a game or something crazy.
Yeah. Well, Lamar Jackson's running 20 times a game and not doing that.
Remember them talking in the combine about how his arm, they was all about his arms, watch him throw 65 yards, 70 yards, and then he's just running the whole time.
So that might be a low scoring game.
Even without fucking LaShawn. LaShawn he disappeared.
Yeah.
He didn't even play last week. And Allen still.
Diggs, you never know. He's actually seems to be getting more. Thielen hasn't gotten much the last couple games.
Pretty good matchup with.
Who's the flex guy?
2 flex. There's Landry and Hamilton from Detroit. Denver.
Yeah. I tossed in Hamilton in there just because he's got the Monday night game.
Who's Hamilton? What
But
the
he
hell?
has.
What is happening?
He's the one that took over for Sutton because Sutton didn't take.
Another receiver.
Sanders went down. Sutton had a blip of.
Yeah, I know. I picked him up. It didn't really work out.
I did this. I picked him up, and then I tossed Hamilton in there because he plays the Monday night game, and he's the only player on either of our teams. So he's my last ditch effort if I need something.
But who?
You also have Richard. Richard.
Jalen Richard. Yeah, I don't have any faith in
Oakland.
He's got Ridley, Balaj, and Edwards.
Yeah, fuck that.
Most of my bench is just filled with guys I didn't want other people to get.
I'll say Ridley. That was a bold.
Edwards is your next best guy, but he plays
He's
on
got
Saturday. So
that's
that's
a tough matchup too.
Yeah, on Saturday.
I like that Edwards though, just because when you've got a mobile quarterback, it frees up so much space for the running back. It usually means one less defender for them to get blocked or beat.
It does, but I don't think they've even thrown to him yet. He hasn't caught a single pass since he's came on. That's kind of a big deal.
It's because instead of doing dump-off passes, Lamar just runs.
He just runs, yeah.
That's their dump-off game is fake and then him run.
Just running.
All right, yeah, that's a pretty bare bench. All right, Dylan, what's your roster looking like? Oh, wait, who's your quarterback, Jared? Rivers? Yeah, fuck Rivers. All right, Dylan.
You don't like the Chargers, do you?
It's annoying. They have 3 good wins and 8 shitty ones, but their good wins have been in dramatic fashion. So it'll be interesting.
He's having a year.
But the rest of the AFC is looking like garbage, so compared to the rest of the AFC teams, they're pretty good.
The Chargers' problem has always been they start super slow and then they're digging themselves out of a hole the entire season.
That's why Rivers has the most fourth quarter comebacks of any quarterback ever because he's always losing.
But I'm liking the non-fantasy wise. I'm liking the Chargers in the AFC right now.
Well, it's a perfect week for you because that's a huge game. They have a chance to go from the 5th seed to the 1st seed this week.
Yeah.
If they win and the Chiefs and Patriots both lose. Actually, I don't think the Patriots even need to lose. They already have a better record than them. So.
Yeah, they're tied.
They have a
first.
game lead on the Chargers. Who do the Patriots play this week?
Bills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Josh Allen goes for 200 yards rushing.
3 touchdowns.
Oh, fuck.
Pat's defense is not turning around like they normally do.
No, they're...
Because normally they start out looking slow and everyone... At least in recent years, they start out looking slow. Everyone starts questioning Tom Brady. Then Bill Belichick, the fucking defensive mastermind he is, gets his defense in shape. They're playing really good.
Their D might be better than their...
Turn around, really.
It might be better than their offense at this point, though. Did you see that Steelers game?
Oh, their offense is not great.
And they just lost their only deep threat. Hogan's back. Pick him up. Play him. Huh?
They haven't been using White.
It's true. It's the Bill Simmons... what happened to...
I listened to White.
I know, me too. Yeah, what happened to him? We don't know.
But old Girthy over here, starting Breeze.
Ooh.
How do you feel about Breeze, Dylan?
Ooh.
See, Josh Allen's on the waivers, or was on the waivers, of do I start Josh Allen after a couple weeks of him just rushing, and he's been putting up, not bad numbers, but it's Drew Brees. You can't count him out, especially this close to the end of the regular season. So I'm really hoping Breeze comes through. It's a gamble. For the last month almost. I don't think he's put in more than 20 points, 18 points.
Road Breeze has been a thing this year where he's been terrible on the road.
That was always Roethlisberger too. Are they at home at least for this game?
No.
I've got the. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't feel confident in Breeze right now. He's at 3 weeks in a row where he's one of the worst quarterbacks.
But if he goes off, though,
he easily could. He easily could.
Very well could go off.
Yeah, it's a conference game or a division game.
And they're in the dome, yeah. So you're good.
Yeah.
What about Barkley?
Huh?
What about Barkley?
Barkley. It's another toss-up. Indiana, I mean, they
didn't. Zeke still had a
they
good
didn't,
game last week.
they didn't do shit against Jacksonville, but then, I mean, Barkley goes off at random times. He's been pretty good fucking most of the year, but last couple weeks or last week or so was really slow goings. But my running backs are not going to compete with Jarrod's as far as Gurley and McCaffrey, but my wide receivers, I think, are better than, Jarrod's, and my flexes are better than Jarrod's, minus Robbie Anderson. I don't know how he's
That's a toss-up, your guys' last flex spot.
What's mine right now? Because I had Aaron Jones go down. Oh, Hamilton.
Yeah, the guy I hadn't even heard of.
But Kelsey over Landry, I'd take. Schuster over Diggs, and then Hopkins over Edelman.
Oh, sorry, you guys don't have to play a tight end, but yeah, Kelsey's better than. He's got to be a top 15 wide receiver, right?
He's been putting up numbers.
The number one end, he's up there.
Yeah, Saquon, you never know, but like Ricky said, Zeke got his 120 all-purpose yards in the shutout. So
yeah,
the Colts don't necessarily stop the run, so they'll probably try to stop the passing game, which won't be hard against the Giants.
Yeah.
OBJ's still out?
Yeah.
So they got to stop Saquon.
Yeah, that's going to key on him pretty much, and I'm going to be fucked.
Maybe we'll get passing touchdown number 3 from OBJ to another one to Saquon.
He's coming off like the most disappointing game.
Maybe Barkley will throw one to Eli, and Eli will just drop it in the end zone for like 40 yards.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at all.
You got Hopkins, though. He's a beast.
Yeah, he's been tearing it up for me. That's like probably my best pick is Hopkins, I would say. He's just been solid.
Travis Kelce, so he has 93 catches to Hill's 78, 1,220 yards to Hill's 1,304, 11 touchdowns for Hill, 10 for Kelce. I mean, that's a number 2. That's like a number 1 receiver numbers.
I remember in our draft at Avalon was like when I drafted him, like I think like a couple guys, if not more than that, were like, "Why are you drafting the tight end?" I was like, "It's Kelce. He's fucking good." They're like, okay, yeah, blah blah blah. I was like, all right, fucking Kansas City, he'll do just fine.
Yeah, I mean, 93 catches. Zach Ertz, I think, was leading the league in catches at one point. I mean, tight ends can be legit.
Let's not talk about Gronk though.
This is my last year. This is my last game starting Gronk.
He's the oldest 29-year-old on the planet.
I have him in my other league, and he is. I start him.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be happy this year if the Patriots aren't good in the playoffs.
Everyone in the whole nation.
I mean, honestly, would the AFC playoffs be very much fun if the Patriots go out in the divisional round?
Yes, much funner because you're like, fuck it, no Patriots.
Then what 2 teams would you want to see for entertainment value in the AFC Championship?
Yeah,
Chargers, Chiefs, I guess.
I want to see
round 3. The last one ended pretty good.
It's pretty.
I don't want to see the Steelers. Fuck the Steelers.
Nobody wants to see the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the only other matchup that would be fun. But I just don't. It's hard to trust Andy Reid and the Chiefs.
I like the Chargers. I mean, I've never really liked them before. I'm not a huge fan of Phillip Rivers just because every time we play him, he's just too fired up. But I think the Chargers are going to be the push.
We're all just ignoring Houston. They did win 10 in a row.
10 of 11, yeah. Jeez.
They've beat some shit teams though, haven't they?
Yeah.
Well, no, but their strength of victories was way higher than the Chargers not that long ago.
Their division's not that bad.
You get to the team stats. I don't remember how I found that last time. Damn it.
Another played Dallas. Won by field goal. Was
it just in the standings? Because when I talked real big about the Chargers, and actually right after I was talking shit about them, they lost to Denver. I looked smart for 1 week, talking about how bad they were. Does this have? I
And
can't.
they had their comeback win.
Damn it! I don't even remember where I did that.
0-3 or 0-4?
Chargers?
No.
Oh, the
Texans.
0-3.
I had found a page that showed like strength of schedule, strength of victories, and stuff like that. And at the time, Houston's strength of victories was like almost like a 450 something record. Where like the Chargers, it was like a 303 average record. From the teams they beat.
Yeah.
At that point, the Seahawks was the only good team they had beat. And then now since then they've beat the Chiefs and Steelers.
Yeah.
So they've had two good. They're doing what a lot of teams you see in the past, where they just are really coming together at the right time. Like they were just good enough for what their record was for a long time, but they're getting better as the record's getting harder. Think of those Giants teams in the years past that were like 9-win teams that won Super Bowls.
Barely sneak into the playoffs.
Who were your receiver? Who were Dylan's receivers?
Schuster.
He's stacked.
Yeah, Schuster, Hopkins, and Schuster,
Robbie Anderson.
and Robbie Anderson.
It doesn't take much for Dylan's team to put up a ridiculous amount of points.
How many? I mean, there's not been like.
Right.
I don't think there's been a single week where I haven't put up like. I mean, on my bench especially, like there's usually 20 plus points on the bench at least, just between like two. I mean, one guy or two guys. I mean, probably 40 points almost. Jared, you called me on that, like, oh, Dylan leaving a shit ton of points on the bench again, but it's like none of my guys are.
So I don't blame you. It's not that you're making bad decisions. It's
No, not at all. No.
He's got 2,042 points on the year. I was second with 1994.
Mine still. Last I checked, I was in third with the points, and then I was in like first with the points scored against me.
1956.
Just for the record, I was third.
Yeah,
So
I had a tough skid at the end of the year.
Well, when he had you said he
I
had
went from first seed to fourth seed. In
you
one
and
game.
Trent were the closest because
That's-
Trent was only down by 22 points on his point differential this year.
Trent.
Who was his third receiver? So Schuster, Hopkins, and
Robbie Anderson.
oh, okay, well, never mind. Well, I mean Hopkins. So I was gonna say, so Hopkins third in receiving yards on the year. Smith Schuster sixth.
Did Hopkins
But then,
practice today?
Robbie Anderson's way down. Does he ever practice on Thursday?
Yeah, but
I guess
he's
Thursday usually.
He rolled his ankle or something, and I think he's been limited.
Limited practice participants Wednesday. This doesn't have an update
Nothing for
about today yet on ESPN.
He barely rolled his ankle. I'm not worried about him.
Oh wait, no, here it is now. Limited today also.
He'll be fine.
And it comes down to Minnesota and Chicago. You got Chicago against the
Dude, I've been
Niners. That's not bad.
I usually stream defenses, but I've been riding Chicago all year.
They've been definitely the most consistent. People thought Baltimore might be the best defense after like week 4, and that was not really a great call.
I had thought about Chicago, and then they made the Mac trade, and then I would just pick him up on waivers.
Vikings
It's too
versus
easy.
Detroit, though. That's not bad.
He has Vikings, right?
Yeah,
Vikings defense?
yeah.
Yeah.
Against Detroit.
Oh yeah, man, Detroit has been
Sad.
Very sad.
Detroit's been Detroit.
Ever since the Seahawks beat them on Thanksgiving, they went from looking like a playoff fighter to they just plummeted after that.
Matt Stafford is trash. I will say that he's probably number 3 on the list, but number 1 being Brock Osweiler. Brock Osweiler is the epitome of trash.
What is this list?
Trash list?
Trash quarterbacks?
And how is Sam
No,
on number 1?
Look, I mean, Brock Osweiler's always been trash. He's just a higher paid value of trash. He's like, if you think there's gold in that trash, it's like Storage Wars. Like, you see all these bags of trash, and all these NFL teams are like, yeah, I'll bid on him. I don't know what he's like or whatever. So they just bid on this guy.
Well, yeah, that Osweiler one was the worst.
Like, oh fuck, no, he's just a big piece of trash.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything like that since. That he had like what?
The Kirk Cousins deal.
3 starts?
Trending in that direction.
He's a taller, better looking version of Charlie Whitehurst. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, I mean with
Touchdown Jesus?
Cousins, he played for years, so you knew a baseline. The Osweiler one, you had really no idea. It's kind of like with Matt Flynn.
Yeah.
He had one start for Green Bay where he set a bunch of records because it was Week 17 and no one was playing against him.
The Lions game?
I don't know. It was years ago.
I think it was the Lions.
And then he shows up in Seattle and gets beat out by Wilson in like 3 weeks.
But Wilson's Wilson. We don't talk. We
paid Flynn $30 million for 3 years of nothing.
I just.
The Osweiler one though was like $16 million a year, $17 million a year. That was crazy on like 3 starts.
It was like top.
I think with the Flynn thing though, it's not like the Hawks. I mean, they obviously saw something in Russ, but I don't think they saw it coming on as quickly as it did.
Well, we got screwed with Dak that first good year, and now we put all the stock into him. He's all right, but
they haven't paid him yet, right?
No, he's.
Well, and they let a bunch of people leave. Like they let every receiver on the team leave except Beasley.
Yeah, and
they brought in all new receivers for a young quarterback. Like, it's rough.
Would you be upset if in this offseason, since the Raiders, I don't know why I think John Gruden's just getting senile for signing Nathan Peterman, but in some sort of weird thing in the offseason, do you think that the Cowboys are going to try to trade for Derek Carr?
Derek Carr over Dak?
Would you be mad if you got Derek Carr as a Cowboys fan?
Over Dak. Shit. That's tough. Yeah. Because he's
making like $21 million or something.
He doesn't get along with Amari. Amari doesn't like.
Oh yeah.
That's
true. That would be awful.
Yeah, ACDC.
That is true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and plus Derek Carr is making $25 million a year.
It's really funny that they all lost respect for him because he got caught crying against the Seahawks.
Derek Carr?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they have to give Prescott one more year where he's dirt cheap. Draft another wide receiver in the first 2 rounds to go along with Amari.
They need to replace Witten.
It's true. A tight end would be good, but at least you got Beasley. Like if you get a true number 2 receiver, then Beasley can out of the slot, and then you don't need the tight end quite as much. But you got to try to build it while Prescott's still cheap. And definitely don't. Yeah, I would. Carr, $25 million. If it was $18 million, I'd say maybe it's worth a shot.
Carr's making $25 million.
Yeah,
and he just signed that deal in June 2017.
Off of an injury too.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, that shoulder injury because he was like an MVP candidate.
Yeah. That's nuts. That's too much.
Fucking ridiculous.
You gotta trade for if you're gonna go for a Raiders quarterback, you gotta trade for Peterman.
Let him slip through your fingers once and do it again.
Maybe the worst quarterback in NFL history. All right, what do you guys think is your best move? We'll start with Dylan. Best move you made this season to shore up your team. I mean, did you pick up anyone who contributed for more than like 1 or 2 weeks?
I mean, besides Connor.
Oh, yeah, huge, obviously. Other than the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm usually on waivers like all the fucking time, but like this year I've just been pretty quiet.
Yeah,
but Connor's been a big one.
You picked up AP?
I think his best games have been when he's on his bench though.
AP,
still a good pick.
I drafted AP the last round. So no, the second to last round. The funny thing about that, the second to last round, I drafted Emmanuel Sanders. Nobody had picked him up yet.
He was a beast.
I just don't think anyone had any faith in that Denver offense.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean that's the big thing. I mean, if all the analysts are projecting him for this good or whatever. I think he was like number 25 on the wide receiver list, or like 20 or 15 or something. But like I was like, fuck, if everybody's projecting this, it was like might as well just pick him up. I mean, it's a second to last round pick, and then the last one I picked was Adrian Peterson.
Nice. I'm sure most analysts didn't even know who Philip Lindsay was back then. No.
I did not realize he went undrafted, and all I ever heard was about Freeman. And then as soon as I found out Lindsay was on that team, I was like, well, shit, because I watched him, Pac-12, watched him play. Yeah. His last year, he was a freaking beast.
Was he on that do you remember that year that Colorado had that one, like, solid year where they were competing for the Pac? I think it was like 3 years ago. I think was he on that team? You guys know what team I'm talking about?
I think it was like I don't know if he was a starting running back then though.
Because even his last year was the only year that he really was like every down guy.
The year that UW played Alabama in the playoff, I think Colorado had a solid season, and then they played UW, and UW beat the brakes off of them. And then
2016 they just went to a bowl game. That's the only year of his 4 years that they went to a bowl game.
Oh, it is.
That was his junior year. So actually, his junior year, he got 244 attempts, 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns, also 500 receiving. And then his senior year, it was 1,475 rushing and only 257 receiving, which I was surprised. The dude had back-to-back years over 1,700 yards from scrimmage. People just they just downgrade the Pac-12, but it's like,
understandably so, though. I mean,
it's just so even. You see these big conferences, they're really good because they have 4 good teams and 8 trash. Maybe not trash, but trash compared to the top 4.
Yeah, but a lot of the times their trash comes over and like makes UW play like their best game ever, and then UW loses.
Well, it's because UW's trash.
To an Auburn team.
Easy. I'm really not biased as far as like Wazoo or UW, but most of my friend group is Wazoo, so I just like UW, just cause.
It's the most
contrarian.
I've actually been like, oh yeah, no, go UW. Plus Chris Peterson, I was a big Boise State fan because of Jarrod, you know who, in high school. Our buddy Clayton literally would dress up every day. No, I want to say dress up because that's like sounds like Halloween, but he had like UW or not UW, but Boise State head to toe every fucking day. He had every single color sweatshirt, sweatpants. I swear to God, he had shoes, hats, wristbands. Like he was all about Boise State. But Chris Peterson's fucking awesome.
But that's why it's so weird that the Huskies have been. Well, I guess just this year. Last year they were in the playoff, right? It was last year or was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. They've been getting worse, which is weird. And it's more like he got a break the first 2 years. They're like, well, wait till he gets his recruiting classes.
Browning sucks.
And he got his recruiting class.
Haven't developed. Browning hasn't developed
Browning has gotten worse since his sophomore year. And the rest of the team around him their defense isn't as good as it was, which really hurts. Their running game is still good.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. So, Peterson's a really good coach, but they haven't gotten any better the last couple of years.
How do you think if the roles are reversed, Gardner Minshew was on UW and Browning was on Wazoo? How do you think the teams the record would be now?
I mean, Minshew was like in talks.
I think UW.
He was a Heisman.
Yeah, I think UW might have had a chance to go undefeated.
Yeah, I think
because Browning just misses open throws.
Yeah.
And if you tell me Minshew gets to throw half as much as he was, less than half maybe, then he did in Wazoo, and he's not gonna be more accurate than Browning and have an actual run game
and a lot more talent around him.
But if you had told me Browning was going to start throwing 55 times a game, there's 4 picks a game.
Yeah, easy.
Seriously.
Easily, yeah.
I'm biased, but from what I saw this year, 2 years ago, I would have been like, I'll take Browning on Wazoo. He can run, he throws, but I don't know what happened to his accuracy. He looks scared now throwing. He looks like he's ducking as he's trying to throw to avoid hits.
And they always pan to a camera of him, and he just looks confused.
They're playing Ohio State, right?
Yeah, for the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, with Urban Meyer in his last game. Oh yeah, UW's gonna get the fucking. They're gonna get their asses whooped.
Oh bad. Oh bad.
Ohio
New Year's Day, 2 p.m. We should watch that. I like watching my mom and just laughing at their misery when they lose. She gets so mad. She's like, "That was your grandpa's team."
Well, pick a better team, Grandpa.
My degree says WSU at the top, so I don't have a choice.
Yeah, you're stuck with WSU.
I'm not rooting UW anymore. I grew up rooting UW, so I don't really hate them, but it's funny to laugh. Their fans get so much more annoyed when you talk crap about them than we do. I guess it comes with expectations.
Anybody got a...
I don't know how we got there.
Super Bowl.
What was mine last time?
You actually said Bears and
Rams. No, you said Bears.
You said Chiefs. No, I think you said Chiefs.
Bears.
The Bears Chiefs.
I'm sticking with the Bears.
I had the 2 vets, Saints and Patriots.
Saints.
Not feeling great about it. I feel okay about the Saints still, not so much about the Pats.
You never know.
But they're definitely not out of it.
No faith. You don't have faith in the postseason Pats, Brady and Belichick.
I mean, I'm not like counting them out, but I'm not confident. I definitely have faith. We've seen how many times where they've had a bad run and everyone's like, oh, maybe it's finally over, and then they all of a sudden score 50.
Yeah.
Brady.
Their bad run usually comes kind of early. Like this is when they start killing it.
Well, they kind of did that this year. Did they start out 2-3 and then won like 7 in a row, something like that? They won like 6 in a row and then lost one. I don't know.
Was it 2 years ago when they played the Chiefs to start the season? Lost like 20. They get to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
That was the first time that people thought the Chiefs were good because they started out 4-0.
That was last year. They fucking destroyed them.
So yeah, Dylan, who's your Super Bowl matchup? Well, Ricky, you had
Carolina.
your original one
I
was
switched it to the Saints.
Carolina.
Now I'm going with Cowboys.
Cowboys versus
Patriots.
Cowboys Patriots.
Cowboys Pats. Oof.
Well, Dylan, at least you get a pick from teams you know are in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said before, I'm not really huge. There's not really a team I dislike. Like I know, like in certain people, they're like, oh, I hate this person, I hate this team, like everything about them, they just despise them. But I'm not a huge fan of the Chargers. But I do think the Chargers will make a push. I think the Chargers will at least make it to the AFC playoffs or the AFC championship, if not the Super Bowl, just because they are complete. Like on both sides of the ball, I would say they're playing pretty good fucking football, especially if Melvin Gordon's back. But I'll say Chargers and Bears. Say
Bears,
popular pick. I mean, one thing that people haven't talked about the Chargers that will start to probably get talked about more now is that combo of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. As Mike Williams, because he was hurt his entire rookie year, so this is his first year in the NFL. And as soon as Keenan Allen went down, Mike Williams had 2 receiving touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. So I think that combo is a lot better than people realize. And their 3rd and 4th receivers are.
Tyrell's nothing to sneeze at either.
Yeah, those are good guys.
How real.
And then Eckler and Melvin Gordon, great backfield. Like, I mean, they've got all the pieces. The problem is they've had the talent a lot of years. Same with the Steelers. Every time that they're the most talented team in the AFC, they usually choke.
Anthony Lynn with the question mark.
The Chargers are always like they have a slow start, like season-wise, like they lose like way too many games early on, and then they find themselves in like November and December digging themselves out of like a 3-game like hole.
I mean, their division always seems to be tough one way or another. Like, there's just always one team in that division that seems to be good. It's not the same team every year, but it's never the Chargers. Like, they're never, like, yeah, I mean, Denver was good for the years of Peyton Manning. Oakland was good 2 years.
Never the Raiders. Raiders have been good for like 2 years in the last like.
Well, they were good like 2 years ago though. After the Broncos went to shit, and then the Chiefs got good, and it just never seems to be the Chargers as the best team in the division, but they're always the second best team. Like, they never drop to, like, 3rd or 4th.
They're always like Steve Young pick on NFL Live. They always, like, swing around to the last guy. He's like, but I really like the Chargers this year. And somebody every year does that.
They've only made one AFC championship since in the Philip Rivers era, right?
Yeah.
When they had LT and they had Sean Merriman still.
Merriman. The Reuter. What was that celebration called? The heart attack or something?
The lights out.
Lights out. That's right.
He had a light switch tattooed on his forearm.
I never knew that. That was such a weird.
Yeah. That's his name, Sean Lights Out Merriman.
Yeah. I do love the team celebrations these days. It's
the team picture.
Dude, the Hawks have been killing celebrations.
We should do a team picture of the league at the end of the year, guys.
Someone said that. Said the Saints did it first. The team selfie. It was like every other team needs to stop doing it because every team's been slowly doing it at some point.
It's like the turnover chain.
And I forget who it was who was like, "Hey, that's the Saints. Let them have it. Like, don't steal it. Like they did it first. It's theirs."
Did you see the Titans? Remember the Titans one?
It was good.
Yeah, that
back Thanksgiving was one of my favorite ones.
What, Dylan?
So that brought back some tears.
Gary Bertier laying in a hospital bed.
Wrong side, left side.
That's a good movie.
That's the ultimate substitute teacher movie. When I've watched that movie with subs so many times.
They roll in that TV.
Yeah.
Team
Are we that old?
Think so.
Does you guys' league have? I can't remember. Does your league have a punishment for last place?
No.
Just they have to pay for the engraving on the trophy. Nothing crazy.
Okay. You guys ever do any side bets or anything? You guys gonna make any bets on this championship between the two of you?
Ricky?
And I bet on the Cow. I guess they would have to put. We bet on the Cow. If the Cowboys Hawks play in the playoffs, we bet the buy-in next year.
That's right. So if the Cowboys win, you got to pay for Ricky's buy-in. Seahawks win, he's got to pay for yours. What's your guys' buy-in?
50.
Okay, it's pretty standard, pretty normal. You guys are in any little side bets on the championship match between the two of you?
Don't look at me. Don't look at me like that, Jared.
I've had people come up to me saying message me, say they want to bet, but then they don't bring it to the chat or anything, so I don't.
Well, you can't do like a money bet. It's got to be a, I don't know what you call it, embarrassment bet, or, like you got to wear my team's colors or some shit. I want to get into a league where actually the punishment's tattoo. I think it'd be funny.
That would be fun.
I saw one. I swear it was a fantasy football punishment. There's this big jacked up truck, like all the bells and whistles on, nice like Ford or whatever. But this guy, like on this whole back window, had a Tampax sticker with a tampon on it. And he looked like a normal looking dude, and he just looked kind of fucking miserable. It was literally right after we had our draft. I was driving down to work and I saw this. It was like that he had to have lost, like got last place in fantasy.
You gotta just own it. You gotta pretend like it's not a thing and never explain it.
Pretty much.
It's the only way you can do it. I've never been in a league that's had a real good punishment. Just stupid shit. We haven't even been in the same fantasy league in like years.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years. I tried to get you in this one instead of Brad, but you said you didn't want to do it. And then Brad embarrassed the shit out of me.
Sorry about that. I ended up in like 6 leagues a couple years ago. Like they just kept getting added, but not ever getting subtracted. Yeah, finally, I'm back down to 4.
Jeez, I had to cut it down to 1.
Well, one of them it's an auto draft league, so there's no getting out. It just drafts me a team every year, whether I want to or not. And then there's 3 in 3 different like family and friend groups. So
you're in a couple leagues, Dylan, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in 2. I'm in finals in both of them.
Damn.
If you win them both, what's the payout?
$19 million.
Oh, that's accurate.
No, it's I think it's
the other league, it's only 50.
It's I think it's like $800 and $900.
Damn,
it's a change. Last year it was $700. What was ours last year? 25 or 20?
Something like that. We keep raising it to keep interest and stuff. Yeah. Slowly.
Getting older, so we need more money.
And then we had to restructure the whole consolation part of the playoffs to because.
Oh, did you make third place get paid their money back or something?
Well, ESPN has their they do the consolation ladder, and we just said fuck that, and we just track of the top scores, and then I think the top 3 from each week move on. So I think there's this week
you just do your own brand.
Okay. Yeah, we just keep track of ourselves.
I'd be down to do it.
People just give up and stop paying attention.
I like that. I mean, that's what golf did with their whole FedEx Cup thing with the 4 tournaments in the year. Is you don't have to win to advance. You just got to be in the top whatever, and then the next time it's obviously a little more tough because there's less people in it.
Yeah.
So I like that. That way, if you get matched up with the wrong person, you're not just fucked.
Yeah.
My stepdad in the finals, just semifinals, played the only guy. There was 4 of us obviously left. I played the guy who scored the least. My stepdad scored the second most and played the guy who scored the most. I felt bad for him. But not that bad. I'm in the finals.
Yeah.
Team Matt.
This year I feel like I had the hardest time staying motivated and on top of it.
Dude, I watched more college football this year than I did NFL.
I had a couple weeks where I forgot to set my lineup. I actually won almost all of them, but just forgot to go in and switch out guys on buys or injuries or whatever. And it's oh shit, all right. College, I watched a lot more Cougs because they were a lot better than expected.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Just as Mike Leach's post game, like halftime interviews too. I love Mike Leach. He's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Did you see that he's got the portrait of him as a
The pirate? Does he have the pirate one?
probably got that too, but he's got the one from Seinfeld with
Oh,
George,
fuck.
where he's on the couch in just his boxers, but they just put his face on his George Costanza.
And he has it?
He's got this thing. They gave that to him. They gave him the shirt that was like the Cougs, and it was like UW was the toilet paper before the Apple Cup, and he was like posed with it. He's great. I should read his book. He actually, at the press conference for the bowl game, the other coach was complimenting him. He's like, yeah, I've actually read his book. It's a good book, blah, blah, blah. And then Mike Leach is like, yeah, I agree. I think everyone should have at least 2 copies. Holidays are coming up. It's on sale. Like, he just used to promoted his book during the press conference.
Well, did you hear about when he showed up late to the preseason Pac-12 meetings or whatever? He something with his flight, like it got delayed or whatever, and he like hadn't eaten all day, and he knew he was going to be late, so he just went to In-N-Out Burger, and he was like, it'll be a lot better time. I'll be a lot better company for everyone else if I have eaten. And he just casually strolled in with like In-N-Out, just like whatever, like 30, 45 minutes late, didn't give a shit.
It's better than half these MMA guys just do for the UFC ones where they show up like half an hour late for no reason.
I never understood why the Cougs were going to all of a sudden be so bad. They still had Leach. It just seemed like such a steep drop off that everybody predicted.
We lost a bunch of assistant coaches to bigger programs. And then also our incumbent starting quarterback committed suicide before the year.
That's inspiration.
Tough thing to recover from. So our quarterback was a guy who'd only been in the system for a few weeks. Minshew was a transfer from another school.
Like East Carolina or something like that? Is that where he came from?
I don't even remember.
I think he played there because I remember a bunch of journalists because Mike Leach with his pirate stuff and then the East Carolina Pirates, and they're like, oh, it's a perfect fit.
Well, even Leach almost left.
Yeah, it's Leach's system though, right? Because his quarterbacks are never highly touted. It's just like you just need a system.
Yeah, because I remember at Texas Tech, it was who was the quarterback for Crabtree? Either way, he basically led college football in like every passing stat and didn't get drafted. And Leach criticized for it, but then when he got a chance, he was terrible. So, they all get pegged as system quarterbacks. But it's like, to me, every quarterback is a system quarterback, because if your system sucks and you're getting sacked or guys aren't getting open, you're not going to be good.
But
Like Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold's a real deal. I don't know.
Oh my god!
I haven't watched.
Finally got some support, Jared.
I just don't watch him. There's still people saying Josh Rosen's good, and even as bad as the Cardinals are, people are saying that actually, if you just watch him break it down, like he actually isn't that bad, but that team is terrible.
That's what my thing about Sam Darnold was. When you watch him at USC, after Juju left, he didn't have anyone to throw to. His offensive line was just trash, and then he threw like a lot of picks, so it didn't really help either. But I just thought, because he shows these blips of like being like totally like ready, like that guy, and then he throws like 12 picks.
It's hard to judge USC quarterbacks because they usually get the best athletes as receivers.
Yeah.
Like when the Cougars played them this year, they were just chucking the ball up. Those guys were covered.
Yeah.
They all could run faster and jump higher than every defensive back on Wazoo. And they were just jumping up and getting it, and half the time Wazoo was getting called for pass interference, just trying to like do anything they could.
Well, I mean,
every year they have those California athletes for receivers are just nuts.
I mean, that was Donald's best year statistically. He was just throwing it up to Juju all the time.
They don't often work out as NFL receivers, which is kind of funny. I think they have it too easy. California receivers.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever they play, like through high school and college, they're always faster than everybody. I don't think they become good route runners. Robert Woods is like and Smith-Schuster, the USC receivers to do it. Marquise Lee looked like he was going to be great because he was better than Robert Woods in college.
Are both those guys from California in high school and stuff?
I don't know. I assume.
I mean,
USC doesn't need to go too far to recruit.
They don't, but they do. They do. They have the pipeline.
For those at home, Dylan's been holding up the trophy for a good while. Just holding on to that thing, hoping to repeat. It's fun. I'm in the championship in 2 leagues. That I was in the championship in both those leagues last year.
Dude,
but no trophy in either one.
Dylan, are you nervous at all?
Not really. I think. It's not like I'm actually playing.
Twice already, so
It's not really.
Huh?
It's nice to have those guys that can win your week for you by themselves.
Yeah. I said you did twice already, so it's not like.
Yeah, I mean it's. But I think the last time I beat you, you didn't have Gurley though.
Yeah, he's on bye.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it'll be pretty close. If I hope your team goes off and I hope my team goes off and there's like no gray area. Like there's not like anybody left on the bench that could have beat me, or like vice versa. I hope like your team goes off, my team goes off, and it's just like, okay, that's fine. There's no controversy. Like, oh, this person was said to be injured or out, and then are playing or whatever. And then
I would be nervous with Gurley and McCaffrey because I could see either one of them just kind of getting shut down.
Yeah.
Neither team really has anything to play for.
I'm hoping they're both kind of touchdown dependent this week, like because Gurley's not going to be getting a lot of work. McCaffrey, I'm less worried about because I think they just rested him today as far as practice, and with the backup quarterback, and I don't know. These are all just things I just say.
They'll design
like I said earlier.
They'll design a lot. I mean, if McCaffrey's gonna legit play, they're gonna design a lot of short, quick throws to him.
Yeah.
For the quarterback, it just reminds me of back in the day when fantasy leagues actually played to week 17. So my first year in fantasy ever was 16 years ago. When I was 16 years old, and I won the first year because my opponent had Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss. They were his 2 best players. And he took the chance and played him in week 17, and they didn't play. Because they had I don't know if they had the number 1 or 2 seed locked up or just their division or what it was, but they didn't play. Now, we play in that league. We have kind of an insurance for that with quarterbacks. You actually get the team quarterback.
Oh.
So any quarterback stats you get. And I had Favre, and he only played the first half, but he also threw 2 touchdowns, and then his backup came in and threw a touchdown. So, I had a really good quarterback day, even though Favre played half a game. But, yeah, that might be the last year we played Week 17 in that league. You don't see it in Week 16 that much, but the way this year is gone.
Especially for Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, once you're out.
They really have nothing.
If they had just...
for him to go out there and just grind his face off until like what?
With Taylor Heineke.
Like the reasons I was saying that my hope is that he comes out wanting to break the 1,000-yard mark because he's close to that, and feeling snubbed about the Pro Bowl, and that's kind of what it's all like. What I'm hinging.
Is he not in the Pro Bowl at all, or just not a starter?
Not a starter.
He's not a starter. Wait, no, I'm not sure.
I mean,
for the NFC, it's Gurley,
he came on late with the touchdowns.
Zeke,
so
and who's the third?
No, it's not him.
I don't think he's in the Pro Bowl at all. Who's the third? Dylan, who's the third? Who is it?
I think part of that
it's
Saquon and
Saquon, yeah. McCaffrey didn't make the Pro Bowl at all.
No. I did Russell Wilson.
Or Kamara.
Yeah, well, Kamara, I understand.
Oh, yeah, Gurley, Saquon, and Zeke all made it.
Russell Wilson had 6
6
games under 200 yards this year.
The problem is that they still vote in a fullback. Vote in a 4th running back. Fuck fullbacks. Only 3 teams even use them.
What are Russ and Rodgers' stats? Rodgers has the crazy
Coward, I listened
ratio
to the Coward thing. It sounds like he's making a case for Russell to be in the playoffs rather than the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he's a Hawks guy.
Yeah.
And you wanted to compare Russ to Rodgers?
Yes.
Yeah. Because that's who got in over Russ, and it's
Rodgers is 3,974 yards, 23 touchdowns, only 2 picks. Nobody else has less than 6 picks.
That ratio is ridiculous.
Wilson is way down there, 3,025 yards, so that's 950 less yards. He actually has 31 touchdowns and 6 picks. So actually,
that's not bad.
His ratio is technically worse, but an extra
yards wise, that's 2 games.
That's
yards wise, 2 games. I mean,
No,
like
it's 950 yards.
Yeah, because he had 6 games under 200.
two good games, two very good games.
Finished the game with 74 yards at fucking quarterback.
The Hawks have been able to run it like.
Yeah, it's because we run. I mean, the attempts. Wilson had 250 attempts. Rodgers has 332. Oh no, sorry, those are completions. Rodgers has 537 attempts to Wilson's 377. So Wilson actually has 5% higher completion percentage. Just throw way less. And he's 8 more touchdowns with only 4 more picks. So the ratio is not that much better.
So there's a legit argument for Russ. I mean,
his team's better. And we beat him head to head. Yeah, it's just weird to see the
playoffs, though, not why he should be in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird to see the quarterback who's 20th in passing yards be debated for Pro Bowl. Before they lost last week, people were actually starting to talk about him in the MVP conversation.
Russ?
Yeah. Because when it looked like they could win 11 games, and he's in the fourth quarter, he's been nuts.
Yeah.
His quarterback rating is a 111.6. That leaves only Breeze, Rivers, and Mahomes ahead of him on quarterback rating.
Did you see Brock Hubert go off about Rodgers getting in over Russ on 7-10?
No.
He was not. I've never heard that dude like it. He is so upbeat and happy and spins everything. But he's on like he was just legit pissed that Russ didn't get the Pro Bowl.
Rodgers has really technically been overrated here for like 5 years.
Where's Gribble?
5 years. Which year was his MVP? He hasn't won an MVP since the Super Bowl, right? And that was like 2010.
I think it's been sooner than that. I think it was like 2013 or 14, I think. He won MVP.
The Super Bowl or the MVP?
It couldn't have been, it had to be 2012 or 11. Because 2013, he only played 9 games.
Yeah, never mind.
So it's 10 or 11. I don't know. This thing doesn't show which, but it shows the stats. But they talk about him like hands down he's the best quarterback. Especially he's just had a bad coach and bad injury luck. But really...
Bears?
What?
The Bears game this year? When he let him back?
Yeah,
everybody was like, oh my God.
I mean, it was impressive.
Yeah.
I was ready to crown him as the GOAT after that game, but it was impressive.
Aaron Rodgers is freaking good, though. I will say that. He's pretty damn good. I don't say he's like the GOAT, though.
You think about Seahawks Green Bay matchups, though, over time? The Seahawks have definitely gotten the better of them. Especially
in recent years, yeah.
In the playoffs, we had the touchdown, onside kick, recovery, touchdown to go to overtime.
Yeah, but
if you go back a little further, then you have Matt Hasselbeck saying we want the ball and we're going to score.
That was against Green Bay too. Honestly, at this point in time in my life, I'm actually glad that happened because it's so hilarious. We want the ball and we're going to score. Pick 6 to what's his face with the long hair.
Do you think do you think you can laugh at it? Had the Hawks not won the Super Bowl and the Legion of Boom and all that?
If the only thing you're known for,
if the Hawks had,
I'm a Seattle fan. I'm a Seattle fan. I'm used to losing. I could still laugh at it. Are you kidding?
You didn't win the title, and you only were known for the interception on the goal line. Would you still accept it?
By the way, I think it was Derek Coleman who was the fullback. Listen to your last podcast.
Oh shit.
Who was
That's right. Yeah, he was there for a good 3 or 4 years. Yeah, I don't know who. Someone kept saying the Hawaiian dude or whatever. I was like, I don't.
Toilolo.
It's like I don't know. I just didn't know, so I just kind of stayed quiet.
I came prepared. I came with my research.
Trying to come up with fullback names, and I was like, I don't remember that name, but maybe. I'm not the best.
Tukuofu was like a D lineman that they just put it in the goal line situation.
That's what I was saying. So I know we have a defensive lineman we've used that way since we haven't used a full-time fullback in a while. Or another.
Jared's like, oh yeah, some Hawaiian guy, some Hawaiian name like Toilolo or Poilalulu or something. He's like, oh Toilo, yeah, that's it. It's like fuck came up with some Hawaiian name off his top of his head.
Good times.
Well, starts on Saturday, boys. You guys ready?
Yeah.
And it's nice that there's still a Monday game, and you guys have at least one player, because that always makes it better. Hopefully, it comes down to that.
Monday, Dylan?
Huh?
Who do you have Monday?
I don't know. I can look real quick.
You want to play that, Ricky?
No, nobody Monday, but he's got Rivers Saturday.
I don't feel good about that Rivers game with the Ravens.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel that well either.
I
But
think
obviously,
the hardest part about it will be that the Ravens.
Oh wait, you have Hamilton. That's
One day.
it.
Yeah, the Ravens, since Lamar Jackson took over as quarterback, have been averaging.
Oh, their possession time?
Yeah, their possession time is 36 minutes.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
And so I think that's going to be the hardest part is can the Chargers score fast on what is a pretty good Ravens defense.
How fucking boring is that to watch the Ravens for 36 minutes on offense?
I don't care. It's Lamar Jackson, man. The guy's exciting. He runs like no.
It's like the UFC.
He runs like no quarterback has ever run because he's got the build of a wide receiver, but
they're not doing a whole lot with the 36. Imagine if the Chiefs had 36 minutes of possession every week.
might have the Seahawks. Well, the Seahawks are getting there with their running, but they still somehow don't. Chiefs, Saints, those would be fun teams to see the ball a lot. It just never happened though because they just when they score too quick.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, New England will probably, or not New England, Pittsburgh and New Orleans will probably be like 13-3 or some bullshit like that. And you're gonna think it's gonna be high scoring, but it's gonna be like 6-8.
I definitely want to live stream some games. Us watching some games in the playoffs. I think the playoffs will be fun, especially if Seattle ends up playing Dallas. Every time we've tried to do it where we get people from both sides, it hasn't worked out. We couldn't get Hooper here for the Seahawks-Panthers game. Couldn't get Hooper here for Panthers-Saints, and then we lost internet. Yeah.
That's why I picked him. We're going to Super Bowl.
That's why we kept trying to stream games with the Panthers in it, because he's also super reactive and overly confident. So it's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a pretty good fan to watch a game with.
He's the classic, like, diehard fan with way more confidence than he ever should have in his team.
What was that? That Steelers guy, the AFC Championship last year, last year or whatever.
Well, the Steelers, I'm gonna kill him.
I'm gonna hang myself. He's like, you're gonna find me dead in the closet. I'm not doing
Garrett's the opposite. He immediately turned on Cam Newton once they looked like they weren't going to make the playoffs. He just went, Cam Newton's trash. Get him out of there. I don't want him anymore. He wants Gardner Minshew. I like it. I think that team with Minshew would be fun. A quick throw-in team with a running back who can catch like theirs can. I was like, he'll catch 150 passes with Minshew throwing to him. Yeah, hopefully we can live stream. We got to figure out how to. I'm going to hopefully figure it out here with this one. Because if we can get that as our YouTube, that'd work. I don't know how that works. We might have to pull it from your account.
Yeah, I can do it from the computer. So.
I don't know if it records it that way, but like on the TV, Dylan, we've got the split between us and you, so we can see everybody. So it'd be perfect YouTube, and apparently we're more popular on YouTube, which makes no sense. Didn't even tell it, like 37 views. That's not a lot, but like since the most downloads we've gotten on a podcast is 34, and that video's only been up for 3 days. It's kind of interesting that it got to 37. We never had more than one person watching us live.
Is the Cowboys matchup set, or can that part of the wild card?
It's only set if the Seahawks hold the 5 seed and Dallas keeps the division.
We got like a 56 chance to play you and a 22% chance to play Minnesota.
Yeah, and that's if you keep the division over the Eagles or Redskins. So it's definitely not set. I really hope the Seahawks beat up the Chiefs and people.
How do you think that game's going to go?
It's in Seattle.
Yeah.
Mahomes has lost to the 3 Pro Bowl caliber quarterbacks he's played.
Those are all of the losses? They lost
so he's lost to Brady, Goff, and Breeze.
Okay.
Wilson's a kryptonite for a lot of Hall of Fame quarterbacks too, so we'll see how that goes. But the younger guy could take Wilson out.
Well, Mahomes has struggled in fourth quarters on close games.
Just ignore those things.
And Wilson is known for being great in close games in the first.
Pete Carroll drives on fourth quarter.
He's got the second most, fourth quarter / overtime comebacks since he entered the league behind Phillip Rivers, I think it was. So, no, that'll be a fun game.
Good Sunday nighter.
Yeah, hopefully we can start getting some of this technology stuff a little more figured out, get a little better at it. Last week Monday night was a shit show.
Did you guys do it last week?
Yeah, we lost internet after half hour, and then I started playing the live stream on my laptop because the Xbox was struggling.
Okay.
Well, we forgot that if my computer is playing video with sound, it ruins the sound on the audio recording. So we published a 38-minute podcast where like 20 minutes in, you can't really hear us. It just sounds like we're talking underwater, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. Real bad.
So we're a work in progress. We also just got to figure out the real I don't know what this podcast even is. It's turned into NFL, but mostly.
Do you guys have you always had a guest, or have you had episodes?
No, our first 4 episodes are just us.
But we only talked about basketball.
Yeah, we were an NBA podcast at first because we just had no one to talk NBA with, so we're like, we'll talk NBA together and put it on the internet. I actually even did an episode by myself because Ricky had a life for a week.
For a week.
I'd be down to get all together and fucking build on this podcast, though. I mean, it's definitely fun doing this for sure. Like, whether it's like sports or just like bullshit, and it's still pretty fucking fun. I
want to start pulling up like news articles that'd be fun to just like laugh about and stuff. And I don't know, we got to figure out some like bits or whatever. But
we'll do a postseason roundup after we figure out who wins out of you two.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like we should be getting a bet on this somehow, but I can't. I'm terrible at coming up with terms. That's always the hardest part with a bet.
You're double or nothing. If you win, you pay me double. If I win,
double what? The buy-in or the winnings?
You shouldn't even be worried about that. He said double or nothing, man.
I'm kidding. I can't.
Double or nothing with the winnings.
Jesus, all right. No, I can't do that. My wife would kill me.
If you lost,
how is it?
I can't afford the Christmas gifts. All right. Some redheaded dude beat my ass in fantasy football.
How's your guys' payout work in this league?
Third place gets their money back. Second place gets 100. First place gets the rest.
I don't agree with that.
It's like what, $450?
What do you think it should be?
I think winner take all, or winner gets. I mean, fuck third place. Like, if you're third
second getting their money back.
Well, my thinking is with the way we changed the playoffs was to keep incentive for people to continue to play when they're clearly out of the picture.
You're a participation award kid, aren't you?
Huh?
You're a participation award kid, aren't you?
James Harrison.
No, but I just...
Third place is a little more than participation out of 12. No, I get that.
It just sucks when like half the league just starts ghost shipping after like week 8.
If you're in the playoffs, who cares?
Someone like Nathan who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing until like week 14.
Yeah,
he's still in there for something.
That's a lot of guys start upsetting their lineups.
Like, I know Jeff hasn't looked at his team in weeks.
I never liked that kid. No, it's just
hashtag fuck Jeff.
Episode title.
And I'm down for the winner getting more money. It's just hard to figure out a way to incentivize the rest of the league to like keep going throughout the year.
No, that makes sense. And there's enough money in there. A $600 pot. I don't think it's that big a deal throwing an extra 50 out. Maybe second she'll only get their money back too.
I'm cool with that.
But I mean, if I got first place and got $450, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah. Dylan might be mad because he won last year and this year. But
yeah, true.
Jeff is in a league where it's 14 teams, $100 buy-in, 4 teams make the playoffs, winner take all.
That's nuts.
And he's like in the lead. Like he's in the championship. He's pretty much gonna win that.
But their championship goes to week 17. Too.
So I want to be in one. So Kyle Hooker's dad's in one. It's a real big one. It's multiple $100. They do real money auctions for free agents and stuff. But the way they do it is head-to-head matchups don't mean anything.
They don't mean shit. Like
the winner is the guy who scored the most points.
I guess
you just gotta. That'd be fun. That'd be interesting.
I would be willing to put more money on a league if that's the case than if I have to worry about, because I had a league, like a work league, where I scored the most points in the league through 11 weeks, and I had been outscored on the year. That's how bad my luck was. Every team just had their best week against me, and I outscored everybody except the person I'd be playing. Yeah. And it was like, well, I barely made the playoffs and lost first round. I think that's the most frustrating thing about fantasy football is when you score the second or third most and lose.
Fucking tell me, or you win 10 in a row and lose in the first round.
Yep, that's rough.
So I want to know what you were like going into the week. Were you like super confident?
Yeah,
did you think you're just gonna beat the brakes off?
30 point. Okay, I know projections don't mean shit, but when you're a 30-point favorite on projections, you're gonna be pretty confident.
Mahomes puts up only 17, like his third worst total of the year.
Which is still better than most people.
I find out OBJ isn't gonna play, so I pick up Justin Jackson off waivers in the playoffs. Like I shouldn't be doing that. But
I didn't even. So on last Sunday, I decided to take shrooms, and just watch football all day. So I didn't look at my phone. So I was just like chilled out, just overreacting to the randomness of a day of watching football.
I've only done shrooms once.
Fantasy at all.
I've only done shrooms once, but I guarantee if I did shrooms, there's no way I would sit and watch football all day.
I can say
it was great. It was a great.
It's like the Vinci code for your football team, just like trying to sniper every little thing. It's like, oh, if I start him, I can win this game. I can do this.
Just watching the Hawks game.
Yeah, don't take the shrooms till the lineups are locked.
Seriously.
I didn't look at my lineup until like the Sunday night game, and I was like, I got the game in lock.
Jeff should take shrooms before our fucking next draft.
That's a good call.
Made more sense.
Do shrooms, study, then do shrooms before the draft. Get some shroom recall. Definitely better than not looking at anything and drafting a guy who doesn't play all year without drafting his backup.
That's kind of the problem with our league is we were talking last time how our league is so top heavy. Like no one pays attention, and so the draft comes and they're just making the worst decisions ever. And then we got like Nathan who's new and just doesn't know what he's doing. He drafts like 4 Seahawks players.
Well, it's like Hook was here on Monday. He's like, all right, I need Breeze and Michael Thomas and Saints kicker and Saints. Even like he had like 4 Saints flanks. He's a Saints fan. We have a guy in one of our leagues who never shows up for the draft, so we always end up drafting for him. He's a Dolphins fan, so he gets us some Dolphins a couple rounds early every year because he doesn't show up.
Dolphins first round.
Yeah, when we never really fucked anyone over too bad that didn't show up. I don't think.
I mean, it wasn't too bad, but it's like we actually know he would be happier to draft.
We tried to give someone Hernandez, didn't we?
I guess this year was tough.
We gave someone Kaepernick. We gave someone who didn't show up like 2 years ago. We gave him Kaepernick.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'd still rather have Kaepernick than Peterman.
0 points is better than negative Peterman gets.
Yeah, I know. When you throw 5 picks in the first half, I had this was the year where I had the worst play of any. I didn't pay attention, and I played the Eagles' defense against the Saints when they were really rocking, and I missed the playoffs because of that.
Because of that one game?
Yeah, I missed it by, it was like third highest scoring team, got unlucky a few times, but I had the tiebreaker on everybody. Just had to win out, and I lost that game by 5 with the Eagles' defense going -11. I could just not play their defense. I win, and then the way the rest of the playoffs or the regular season played off, I would have won. So I'm still embarrassed by that one. But that's because that was when I was really fading on motivation and like just setting my lineups real fast, not paying that close of attention, and it cost me.
Remember that year when we had what was it? We drafted way too many people. It was an 8-man bench in a 12-man league. And so pretty much you just had
drafted like 2 extra people.
You're fine. That was so bad. Like you couldn't. There's no trades because if you had shit, you're not gonna get anybody. I think that's the only year in fantasy football history where I took like maybe second to last, and I still like was not last. I was so dumb. It's like, oh shit, yeah. I think we have too many picks. Oh, we'll just put it all in. 8-man bench. It's like, fuck this.
We had a moment in the draft where Trent was like, I think we have too many picks. And I like snapped at him. I was like, no, Trent, it's fine. Just leave it. And then we had drafted like two rounds too many. And I just had to like, no one drafted any of these.
Is that the year you added the extra like extra utility spots and things? So I bet you added things without deleting bench spots, and it just.
I don't think so. That was this year when I started messing with the way the lineup is and stuff. And then I added like the bonuses and stuff.
Spartan took a little bit to adjust to because I kept getting screwed over by defenses.
Remember we did the league, Ricky, with only 8 teams? Oh my god. I ended up with 3 quarterbacks with the first name Matt. I had Stafford, Ryan, and I might have even drafted Hasselbeck back then. I don't know.
Did you have a coin team?
But it was just too many good players. You couldn't figure out who to play because your bench was full of guys who should be starting, and you're like, shit.
That's what Dylan's team is like this year.
Pretty much.
It seems like, and then guys get hurt or they start doing shit, but...
Yeah, if Sanders didn't get hurt, Dylan would easily have ran away with this game.
You just never know, because when I see the meme that like Matthew Berry posted on Twitter, where he's like, if you had these guys, you probably would have gone undefeated, and then just lost this week. Because last week, so many top guys were shit.
Saquon.
Yeah, Saquon, Thielen did nothing. Keenan Allen got hurt. OBJ didn't play. Connor didn't play.
Melvin Gordon didn't play.
Kareem Hunt, Melvin Gordon. Like, it was like there was all these guys who probably led a lot of playoff teams, and then those teams got
me like 3 points.
Gurley, I think, even had a terrible game.
That's what I was making, because he was playing the 6th seed who like snuck into the playoffs, and I was hoping so bad because he had Breeze last week and Saquon last week, but then
that's
he had Hopkins get 100 yards.
Stack, dog. Team's too stacked.
Dylan with the ultimate rebuttal just keeps showing the trophy.
So
I'm not trying to just show it in his face, but hey, look at that. That's mine.
At least
That's
what?
4
more days? 5 more days?
Yeah, soon, very soon. Look at that. Yeah, Ricky, take a picture of that. That's gonna be a VP right there, bud.
I'm trying to get a picture of Jarrod looking on ever so lovingly, even though he's never gonna grasp it. But
I'm honestly, I'm not feeling very confident with my team.
I don't think anyone feels confident in the championship because you.
See, this guy, look at this guy. This guy does.
Yeah, he's showing confidence, but everyone in the back of their head is worried their guys are going to just do nothing. I would be worried about Breeze too. I'd still play him. But
yeah, I'm scared.
It was 3 straight weeks.
3 weeks in a row where he's been like the 30th ranked fantasy quarterback over those 3 weeks. But
yeah, I'm.
This is why we play.
Yeah.
This is why we do it.
Yep.
Complain, and we'll be back next year. Bill Simmons is already like, I'm out. Done. I don't want to do it next year, and I know in like 2 months he's going to be.
I was going to walk away Duncan style into the sunset, but then I came up with that brilliant bet against Jarrod where I'm going to end up $50 in the hole.
Yeah, Cowboys. You feel like they'll find a way to blow it in the playoffs. You just feel like it.
The level of confidence I have with the Seahawks playing the Cowboys anywhere on this planet is so ridiculous. I don't know. I just know they're going to fuck it up.
I think the most I've ever laughed at a guy getting hurt was the preseason game when Romo got hurt.
We're living in a world with T-Mobile Park now.
It just joked about how he'll probably get hurt, and then like the first play, they crush his back. I just started cracking up. I didn't realize how hurt he was. But I just started cracking up, like, oh my god, he's out already. Like 2 plays.
I had to do that here too. It would have beat you the year that Des caught it, but we didn't. We got screwed over by that.
He did.
Yeah, I think I beat Rick. I think I beat you last year. I celebrated finally. Like I knew I won when Nelson Aguilar caught like a 10 or 12 yard pass. It was like, fuck yeah! It was on Christmas Day. I was so excited about that. My parents were like, what the fuck's wrong with you? I was like, oh, I just won some money.
One thing we could look into doing too is have you guys ever done a playoff fantasy league?
What do you mean?
So you have to draft every week based on the teams that are in the playoffs.
Okay.
So literally when you do it, it's everyone drafts based off, the 8 teams that are in the playoffs the first round. Mm-hmm. Half the people get knocked out. Redraft based on the teams that won.
That'd be fun.
And it redrafts each, so it's just a 3-round. Usually it's like a 3-round thing where it's like 10 teams.
Does it go into the Super Bowl?
Or 12 down to 6. Down to, I don't know how it works. I've never done it. It'd be interesting to look at. Maybe I'll see if we can figure that out and do one for the pod, because then we could even.
All I've done is a bunch of football ones and then other sports.
If we were a normal state, you could do daily fantasy.
Yeah, well, that'd be fun to do the daily.
You can do it in this state too. My bookie.
Good.
Yeah.
You can gamble, because Washington outlawed gambling in like 2006, but no one's ever been arrested for like.
No, but most of the websites they go by where you're at.
Well, I think MyBookie or BetDSI is a .eu website.
Okay, I know Bodog back in the day was like the only one that you could do poker, but that's because it was kind of a loophole. They were primarily a sports betting website, but they also had poker rooms. So you could just join the poker rooms. They didn't stop you from being in Washington because it wasn't banned yet. But that was a long time ago. Yeah,
my buddy put a $1 on the beginning of the season. Put $1 on the the Cardinals winning the Super Bowl. It was I think it was 900 to 1. $1, that's well worth it.
Anyone got any plugs? Anything they want to talk about that they're doing? Anyone got any big New Year's plans or holiday traveling?
Nope. Just ready for Christmas and getting some money, hopefully. Whether it's my money back or I would be happy paying letting Jarrod. I guess not letting Jarrod, but Jarrod winning and paying him for his commissioner dues.
I don't want your charity.
Well, it's not charity. It's just I don't know. Just
dude, the whole league wants me to lose.
I know.
Everybody in the league wants me to lose. Everybody in the league is. We basically have a league of people who are like, yeah, I'm cool if the Warriors just go on a 3-peat, just so I'm like LeBron. I was pretty much LeBron. I don't go to the finals all the time.
I was like, what's way you just mean that you're more like, oh, yeah. I guess everyone in real sports who gets rooted against is really good. There's not a good comparison to someone who doesn't win and everyone doesn't want them to win. Maybe Phillip Rivers, fuck him.
Except him.
I mean, Eli's not good. He won 2, and I don't think anyone wanted him to win one except people in New York. Except that he was playing against the Patriots.
Yeah, the only reason I ever wanted him to was because they were playing the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, it was we just want the Patriots to lose thing, not anyone wanted Eli to win.
And there was Jared Wilder. There was other people on
one of those cheeseburgers. Those are for you, though.
So I didn't get you much
there was other people on those Giants teams that I liked more than Eli anyway.
Michael Strahan. I like that they won the year Tiki Barber retired.
Dylan gone?
We lost Dylan video. You still there, Dylan?
No, he's still there.
Oh, it just popped back. No, so your video was frozen for a little while. I don't know what's going on, but we could hear you, so I didn't care. Whoa, you're still way zoomed in now, though, on Ricky's.
Oh, sorry. Here you go. Is that better?
Well, it's just weird how on Ricky's feed everything's zoomed in. And
you have the feed right there, too.
Yeah, it's a lot different on the normal. It's better than just being his eyebrow. Is there anything else you guys wanted to bring up, talk about? I don't got any other. Fantasy football is not topics about it, but we've gone an hour and a half. So.
Yeah, I'm ready for some food, some dinner, and some pre-whoop-ass meal for where I beat the brakes off Jarrod this weekend. Am I right, Ricky?
If Dylan dies before the game start, do I just get the money? Is that how that works? No. Do I have to give it to
who's the beneficiary of your fantasy team?
I got to give your wife your winnings?
My lovely wife, Annette. Yes, she gets the money. She has a shoe
fund. $10. She doesn't know.
Go to GoFundMe/Annette/shoes. That's her GoFundMe in case I die. She has
have a sticky note on the trophy that says, if I die, it was Jarrod.
Does she know how much the winnings are?
Yes.
No, I'm just giving her $20. That's it.
$20. Yeah. Congratulations. Dylan's so good. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
To a grieving widow.
So
that's awful.
Dylan's not worried about it, but are you banking on winning your 50 back right now?
Oh, you're in the third place game.
I'm thinking.
That's right. We forgot all about this.
I'm pretty sad this week. It's a sad week for me. I have to start Gronk for the last time. Never gonna draft him again.
Yeah, don't draft him. Are you projected to win big again?
Yeah.
Great.
But I have Mahomes in Seattle. Yeah, it can go either way.
Isaac's team's going off right now too.
Zeke's gonna destroy Tampa Bay. So I'm not worried about that one. Yeah, who's Cleveland playing? Cincinnati. Chubb's got them. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it.
You are.
I will.
Yeah, I mean, if you get your money back, it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's paid. I'm like the only one I paid. First one to pay last year, last one to pay.
He hasn't paid either.
It's because he's gonna win.
Maybe that's the secret to winning some money back.
Dylan and I got fucked because we did the draft picks trading, and somehow we have to pay for Michael's buy-in this year. Like we split it.
Gribble gets the last laugh.
Did we talk about that last time?
I don't think so. We talked a little bit about you guys were doing draft pick trading it for like 1 year.
Last year was just a mess. It was a bad choice. I take the blame 100% as the commissioner for letting that get out of control.
That's a tough thing to be able to do.
I was like, first week of the playoffs, and he's making trades for draft picks to boost up his team to play against me. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
See, in my opinion, there should be no trading in the playoffs.
Well, it was before playoffs started. It was like a few weeks before
started.
That's why week 11 is usually the default trade deadline.
Yeah.
And I think that's good because we had in one of my leagues, the one I just missed the playoffs, some guys, the guy who scored the most points acquired Christian McCaffrey as soon as the playoffs started.
In a trade?
For Lamar Miller, basically.
Yeah, that's fucked. We can't do that.
And he's losing. They have a 2-week final, so last week was the first week, and he's down by 8 points. But McCaffrey scored 18, and Lamar Miller scored 0, so he's got 18 more points than he should have.
I had my epic fail in my other one where I swooped Tyreek Hill for Julian Edelman, started him over Amari Cooper, who fucking goes off for 30 points. And I lost because of that.
That Amari Cooper game. Also, the last touchdown he got was just straight luck.
Yeah.
Where the defender actually overran the ball, batted it up right to his face. All he had to do was catch it and walk in. But no, it should be fun this week for fantasy playoffs, and then it's really going to be interesting to see what this does to the playoff picture because things are going to change one way or another. I mean, there's too many teams in the NFC that are at 7 or 8 wins.
The NFC is, there's...
And then the AFC, you've got
4 teams in the hunt in the NFC, so...
Yeah, because there's 2 7-7 teams.
Eagles, Cowboys,
and then the Seahawks and Vikings are...
Panthers are technically still alive, and Vikings.
Panthers are technically, but they need everybody to lose.
Either the Eagles or the Redskins to win the East, and Vikings lose out.
Yeah, there was a bunch of scenarios for the
And have to
Panthers.
win out too.
Are the Eagles on hunt still? Did you say that?
Yeah, they're 7-7. They won last week. That's huge. They could still win the division, I think. But I think the Cowboys would have to lose both.
I think Redskins can win the division, but not Eagles because we swept. Unless they
Eagles definitely can. They're only 1 game behind you with 2 to play. So if you lose
but
both,
we're gonna win against Tampa Bay. So.
No, but that's not. They can't win because you're definitely going to win 1 game.
Washington plays Philly.
What a waste of
final week of the season.
But so Philly can win twice, and Dallas could lose twice, and Philly would end up 9-7, and Dallas would be 8-8.
Yeah.
So Philly can still win the division,
but Washington can't.
I mean, it'd be a waste of a playoff.
I think Washington still could too, because they could still win both, and Dallas could lose both. Yeah, they're both 7-7.
Shit.
Yeah, because Joshua Jackson, or whatever his name is, Johnson, that guy got 30 something.
Because that Eagles win and Panthers lost, they basically just switched places as far as being in the hunt.
So the Vikings.
Eagles have the tiebreaker over Washington, but like you said, they play again, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, they're both only 1 game behind Dallas, so. Washington's been outscored by 45 points on the year. How are you 7-7? You've been outscored by 2 games worth of points. But no, it's gonna be fun. There's like I said, hopefully we can live stream playoff games. We'll throw it out there on Facebook for people who want to come in.
You gotta do a team picture.
If you got ideas, for bits or things to talk about on the podcast, non-sports or sports, whatever, let us know.
All get together soon and talk about that shit too.
And the season blowout. We'll have a barbecue or something.
I'm down.
Yeah.
We could do try and have a party and pull people aside for little 10, 15 minute recording sessions and then edit it all together.
Let's have this.
See what happens.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, good luck to both of you guys.
Enjoy
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I've got no rooting interest. I know Ricky's anti-Jarrod because he knocked him out. That makes sense.
Ricky, who do you want to win?
It's Dylan.
Suicide Dylan.
I've been calling him Champ.
Dylan.
Champ's going to repeat.
All right, thanks, man. Good seeing you, Jarrod. I'll see you soon. And thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.